In the vast wilderness of the American frontier, 3 sisters, Clara, Lillian, and May, had crossed the plains as hopeful brides of settlers who promised them homes, love, and a future. But promises are fragile in a land ruled by hardship. The men they married turned out to be cruel and selfish, valuing land and liquor over loyalty. Within months, the sisters' dreams shattered, each left bruised, starved, and abandoned in the middle of nowhere, with only each other to cling to. One bitter winter morning, the 3 women were forced out of their cabins. Their husbands had traded their supplies for whiskey, leaving them to die in the snow. The sisters wandered for miles, their shoes torn, dresses stiff with frost, and lips trembling with prayers. As night fell, the wilderness seemed ready to swallow them whole. They huddled together beneath a dying pine, whispering about home, family, and the life they once imagined. Just when hope was gone, distant drums echoed through the trees. Out of the swirling snow rode a group of Lakota warriors, silent, fierce, and watchful. Their leader, a man named Red Hawk, noticed the faint outline of the women struggling to stand. He dismounted, wrapped his own fur blanket around Clara, and spoke softly in Lakota, though she could barely understand. His eyes said more than words, he was offering help, not harm. The warriors brought the sisters back to their winter camp. The Lakota women took them in, warming them by the fire, feeding them broth, and tending to their frostbitten hands. For days, the sisters said little, afraid to trust again. But the kindness they received was unlike anything they'd known from their own people. No one shouted at them. No one struck them. They were treated with dignity, as guests and as women worthy of care. In time, the sisters began to heal. They learned to weave, to cook with buffalo meat, and to dance under the moonlight during ceremonies. Red Hawk grew close to Clara, who had once been too afraid to meet any man's gaze. His calm strength gave her courage. Lillian, the quiet middle sister, found herself drawn to a warrior named Swift Elk, whose laughter softened her guarded heart. And May, the youngest and most spirited, fell for Laughing Bear, a man who saw beauty in her wild defiance. When spring came, the sisters had a choice: return to the settlements that had broken them, or stay with the tribe that had saved them. Their answer was clear. They stood before the council fire, hands joined with their Lakota warriors, and pledged their vows, not in fear or obedience, but in love and freedom. The ceremony was simple yet sacred, sealed under the open sky with the blessing of the elders. From that day on, the 3 sisters became part of the Lakota people. They rode across the plains with their husbands, raised children who learned both tongues, and told their story to anyone who would listen, a story of cruelty turned to kindness, despair transformed into love. And when travelers later spoke of 3 white women who lived among the Lakota and wore feathers in their hair, they never knew the full truth, that these sisters had not been captured, they had been saved, and they had found the home they were always meant to have.